Y'all, are y'all there? Are you out there? Okay, that was so cheesy. But anyways, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Wow. Y'all, it has been a year since I posted a video, since the video went live on this channel. So yeah, September 10th, 2022, this video posted. I'm gonna try to figure out how to put it up here. And it is today, if you're just check the calendar to fact check me, that's cool, I get it. It's September 10th, 2023. 1 year exactly from the day that video posted. And if you'd asked me, probably your main question is like, did you know you were going away? No, had no idea. Because clearly that video that I just put up there doesn't say anything about like taking a break, anything like that. It was not planned. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure what caused it to happen. But so much has happened in our lives since that day that I cannot wait to fill you in. So I feel like I need a candle because I don't know, like I just love the ambiance of having a candle. So we're gonna get a candle going. I think that may be like a new thing that we do. Oh, and like y'all, really, it broke. That's, you know, you try to do like crazy cool things and then like, okay. Woo! So there we go. We'll have our little candle going in the background. Okay, I feel like, take a deep breath. Y'all get your favorite drink, get a snack, because I'm about to take y'all on the roller coaster of what this past year has brought to our family. Because it has been happy, it has been sad, it has been extremely heartbreaking. There have been joyous moments and awful moments and just literally all the things in between. So if I go back to last September, so September of 2022, I posted that video, and then literally the very next day, I had a child, our daughter was turning 13, okay? And so last year in September, our daughter turned 13, our son turned 16. So it was a crazy birthday month. Like, those are huge birthdays. And we tried to go all out for them. So all that happened, and I have to just know, we were busy, okay? That's probably what happened. And then you get out of the routine of something and it's just hard to get back into it. And so I have no doubt that that is probably one of the main factors that caused there not to be another video in September, was those two things. So we had that going on. And if y'all don't know, my husband is a pastor. He's a pastor full-time. We also own our own business where it's called Rad Revolution, and that's RADRVLTN. So everything I post or talk about will be posted down below in the description. So you can go check out the websites, all that kind of stuff. I'll let you know. It'll all be down there. So we own our own company called Rad Revolution. And we were kind of in the process of slowly releasing like t-shirt designs. My husband does amazing graphic design. He can design some t-shirts like, wow. And so he was kind of slowly in the process of dropping some of those here and there. We had a But God shirt that came out and a Represent shirt that came out. And they were okay. They did okay, but they didn't just like take off, you know, that kind of thing. And so I know we worked on that a lot in October. And just, I don't know, we also have a podcast called the Rad Life with Chris and Robin podcast. So we were recording our podcast and all the things were going really good with that. We were in the routine of doing the podcast every week, and this channel just kind of got left by the wayside, if I'm being honest. It was like not one of the priorities, and I hate that, but it's just, it's life, right? Come on. Somebody get me out there. It's life. It happens. So then come November, we really felt God calling us away from the current church we were at. And we'd been feeling that for a long time, but it just really got like strong, like we felt him calling us away. And so we had met with a team because for years it had already been a vision that God had given my husband to start something new, something different. And like God was really impressing like, hey, the time is now. Like, it is time to really get focused on starting this new thing that I'm calling you to. And it was basically a new church. And weren't sure at the time if it was really going to be in the town we were already in, but he made it very clear that it was. And so by middle of November, we were starting a 40-day fast. I think on actually November 21st, that was going to get us through the end of the year, where we were going to say, hey, this is what we're going to put it out there for all to hear, that this is what God was calling us to do. We were feeling led to start this church, and we were going to go after what he was telling us to do. We were going to run full speed ahead. And so that led into Thanksgiving week, which is usually a big fun time, all that kind of stuff. My husband comes down with COVID. And so we're kind of stuck in to have a small, kind of closed off, quarantined Thanksgiving. So we don't get to see his family. We do see my family a little bit, but not much. Very briefly for Thanksgiving dinner. He was quarantined away, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just a really odd time. So then you roll into December, holidays or all a buzz, everything, you know, all that kind of stuff. And on December the 3rd of last year, our whole entire world was rocked. And we got a phone call. It was the day of our local Christmas parade. Our daughter performed in the Christmas parade, and she's a cheerleader. And so we were watching her, and then we had gone out to eat after. And we got a phone call from my husband's aunt telling us to get to the emergency room, that his dad had kind of passed out and something they thought was going on with his heart, and he was just unresponsive. And so we get to the hospital, and long story short, they were not able to bring him back, and he passed away. And so at the age of 65, my father-in-law passed away very, very, very unexpectedly, and it literally rocked our family. Of course, my mother-in-law was just devastated, and the next 2 weeks, so that was on the 3rd of December, and the next 2 weeks were just like a blur, if I'm being honest. Just with notifying family and trying to get all the things in order, and just going through, you know, the grief process and trying to start the grief process, and just all the things, all the while still going through this fast, knowing that we were supposed to be at the end of the month, announcing that God was calling us to do this amazing thing of starting and planning this new church. And it was just such a tough time, a time where we literally, I'm so grateful for the people who we had around us. If we had not had our circle and our best friends and our church members and our family rallying around us, I have no idea how we would have gotten through that time. Literally leaning onto God. I mean, God is who pulled us through, and we had that family who was just kind of sitting there helping us carry us along. And it was absolutely just an amazing testimony of how important it is to have a relationship with God, and to where you can lean on him, and he is your strength when there's just absolutely no way, you don't even know how to get out of bed that day. And so on December the 15th, the day before my husband's birthday, my husband preached his father's funeral, and it was a beautiful ceremony. But it was literally one of the hardest times that we have ever had to experience, watching your kids grieve somebody they were close to, and watching your mother-in-law grieve her husband, and just not knowing the right words to say, and not knowing how to push forward other than one day at a time. And that was our motto through that time, was rely on God and just step one day at a time, one day at a time. And so we got through those holidays, and it's still a struggle. It's still within that first year, so everything's new. But we have I think come out on it on this side just with more perspective in how short our time is. And when you're given a task by God, you need to attack it with all that you are, because you have no idea how much time, not only that you have for it, but that who you're supposed to be doing that task for has. So you don't have, if you're called to preach a message, then you don't know how long those people who are supposed to hear that message, don't hold off, because you need to get that message out there. Or if you're supposed to, talk to somebody or whatever, you just never know. And it really gave us that perspective of how precious time is, and how much we're never promised tomorrow. And so that gets us to the beginning of 2023. And quite literally, we went on January 1st. It was a Sunday, and we announced to the church that we were at that we had been called to start a new church. And we were basically stepping down, but that we were inviting all of them, because that church was a much smaller church. We were inviting all of them to embark on this with us or not, basically. Point blank period. I don't know how else to say that. And pretty much everybody decided that, yeah, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to embark on this journey with us. And so we spent the next month and a half literally dissolving a church and selling off assets and going through all these different legal things and starting a new nonprofit and all the umbrellaed stuff that comes along with starting something new. Like I said, a nonprofit, we were starting the church. We had to get all the legal paperwork, go through the Secretary of State. There were so many different things, not to mention the process of dissolving this other church. And so I believe it was March 5th is when we had our first like Sunday gathering of the core group of people who was going to start this new church. And the new church, if you didn't know, is called Rad Church. Again, you can go check out everything in the description. We then spent the next several months going through all of our core values, and we've just done a whole Summer in the Spirit series, and it's just been absolutely amazing to watch God work and to watch God grow this church. And it's been a lot slower process than we anticipated, I'll be honest. But through all that, just watching us grow and just really investing into my relationship with the Lord and what the Lord was calling me to do. And about about May, I started feeling, probably April even, a strong desire of coming back to YouTube. And I talked to Chris about it, which is my husband, and I went to him and I was like, hey, I really feel like God's calling me back to YouTube. I feel like he's really like impressing on me, like, hey, don't forget about what I've called you to do and how I've called you to really speak to women and just show them that a Christian lifestyle chasing after me and following after me can still be fun. And, you know, so many people try to put it as a stuffy thing in a box, but it can still be fun, and you can still be into, you know, all these different things, and, you know, decor and home decor and fashion and makeup and beauty and all this kind of stuff. You can still want to do all these things, but you've got to chase after me, and how to help women study my word and to follow me and to step into the role that I've called them to step into and step into their purpose. Don't forget that. Like, I'm still, like, that's not gone away. You're still supposed to be, you know, kind of, don't lose that. You're still supposed to be going after that. And so I talked to Chris about it, and he was just like, babe, like, I don't know how, like, we were busy. Like, our weeks are busy and our days are busy. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we are go, 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 go all the time. And he's like, I have no idea how we're going to fit one more thing in there. And so I just vowed that I was just going to pray about it. And I was going to pray for the next several months, just kind of to myself. I prayed to God, obviously. That came out really weird, but just me. I didn't really share it with anybody else. Like, I didn't share it with my best friend. I didn't really share it with my husband. He knew about it. But I was just going to pray about it. And so I kept praying and I just so strongly felt God saying, you're supposed to get back on YouTube. You're supposed to grow this community. You're supposed to grow a community of women who step into their purpose and who glow for me and shine for me and just have that radiant joy that they have to when they look to me for things. And I was just kind of like, okay, God, but what am I supposed to do? When am I supposed to do it? And so, like I said, my husband was preaching through the spiritual gifts. And so we spent this whole summer in a series called The Summer in the Spirit, going through the spiritual gifts. And it just so boldly and so confidently, like, was speaking to my heart saying, hey, you're supposed to speak for me. You're supposed to use social media for me. You're supposed to use YouTube for me. You're supposed to use TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and all the things for me and for God. You know, I'm supposed to do it for him. And just became very clear. And so my husband had asked me, like he always does a lot of times, that between sermon series, would I preach the message? And so would I bring the message that Sunday? And so I was like, okay. He said, so when the Summer in the Spirit series is over, do you mind, you know, preparing something and bringing the message that Sunday? And I was like, yeah, sure. Obviously, that's cool. And so I started just kind of praying about it. And so I started realizing, as I was watching the calendar and watching and him saying how many sermons he had left in the series, I kind of was trying to figure out. So I asked him one day, I was like, I need a date. Tell me the date I'm supposed to preach this sermon. He's like, okay, cool. So he's looking, and at some point before then, I had gone to YouTube and I saw that the last day I posted a video was September 10th, 2022. So I had that in my head. Like, I knew that information. And so he comes back and he's like, so you're going to be preaching on September 10th. I said, what? He said, yeah, you're going to be preaching on September the 10th. I said, okay, God, I see what you're doing here. because he had already given me my message. He had already given me the sermon titled. He'd already told me what I was supposed to be doing, and that I was supposed to be preaching a message about illuminating him and about shining the light on him and shining the light for him. That it's not about me being an influence to anybody, that it's all about me being an illuminating light to God. And that I'm supposed to point people to him in all that I do, whether it's these videos, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, or just in my everyday life and my everyday walk. Everything I do is supposed to be pointing to Christ. And that is where the whole title of the sermon that I preached today, if you're watching this message, called Where's Your Spotlight? Is your spotlight on you? Is it all about you? Is it all about putting your name out there? Is it all about growing your influence? Is it all about getting your applause? Is it all about you? Or is it all about shining the light to him and illuminating him? Because that's what we're called to do. And so through him revealing that all to me, it became very clear that Glow Girl, which I've had on Instagram, the Glow Girl community has been on Instagram for probably about a year now, and maybe a little under a year, but that was supposed to become what this channel's all about, what Facebook's all about, what Instagram, what TikTok, that it was supposed to be one and only, it's only one and only, that didn't sound right, that it was supposed to be its own brand. And so, yeah, that is what today is. Today is the start of the Glow Girl community brand, or as I like to call it for short, the GGC. I am beyond excited. It's awesome being married to a graphic designer, because he designed our new logo. He's designing some different shirt ideas, different things that'll come way down the future. But yes, I want you to know that effective today, September 10th, 2023, as a sub-brand of Rad Revolution LLC is Glow Girl Community. It'll probably just be known to you as Glow Girl C. That's just kind of what we're going off of. But I am so excited about what God is doing, because I want this to be a community of women who are going to support one another, who are going to lift up one another, who are going to encourage one another, who are going to cry with one another, who are going to rejoice with one another, who are going to be there in those moments of life where you don't know where else to turn. You can turn here. You can turn to me. You can turn to the other sisters, and you can just say, I need help. And we're going to be here for you. And so I'm just so excited. Now, don't worry, guys, because I know I have some guys out there who used to watch my channel, and there's going to be content that you will be able, we're going to have Bible studies. We are going to still do some of the same old things we used to do. We're going to open subscription boxes that are faith-based, that are encouraging, that are uplifting. We're going to still have Amazon try before you can buy hauls possibly, but we still talk about Jesus. We're going to have random talks that God just reveals something to me, and I want to share it with you. We're actually in the process of remodeling our house, so you'll probably get brought along for that as well. But I'm just so excited to finally be stepping back into the purpose that I know God has for me, and that is to uplift and encourage women to glow and grow for him. And so welcome back to the community. I am so excited. I just am like beyond belief. I was like excited, and just I can't believe that he's allowing me to do this. And so I just pray that y'all are excited about this as I am. Definitely, you can click the subscribe button. You can click the like button, the little thumbs up button. Share this with your friends. Share this with your girlfriends. Share this with your moms, your sisters, your daughters. It is literally, I know it says Glow Girl, and I've had some people be like, what about women and ladies, all that. Okay, we're all girls. So, like, a girl is a girl. And we're going to be Glow Girls, whether you're 14, whether you're 24, or whether you're 54, or 84. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're all going to Glow Girl for him, right? And so I'm just really excited about what he's doing. I cannot wait to just jump in feet first, all the things, to see what God's going to do through this community. So like I said, definitely hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. If you are, I'm back. Welcome back to the channel. You can go follow on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. All of that's down below. We're going to be posting weekly videos here on YouTube at least. There's probably going to be some stuff that's going to go out weekly on TikTok. There's going to be hopefully daily or every other day posts. I'm just still trying to get in the, swing of what all's going to be going on, what all's going to be happening, but I know it's just going to be a fun, energetic, exciting place that we can come, and like I said, we can grow and we can glow for the glory of God together as a community. So thank you guys so much. I have missed y'all. I'm so excited to be back, and until next time, bye y'all.